Welcome to Apigician, your next-generation API sandbox platform. In this video, you will learn about how to sign up and sign into the platform. To begin, we need to create an account by simply clicking on Create an Account and filling out the form with the necessary details. It requires your first name, last name, email, username, and password. Remember, username and email must be unique. This checkbox is optional. If you select it, you'll receive product updates, news, and other marketing communications to your registered email from Apigician. I'll be not selecting it. We will now submit the form. It's just a warning not to enter confidential or sensitive information as the app is in the alpha stage now. A verification email will be sent to the email to activate the account. Now let's try signing into the application. Enter email or username and password and hit submit. It seems we've hit a small roadblock. We can't proceed with sign-in just yet, as we need to activate our account first by verifying our email. As you can see, we've received a notification informing us that our account needs to be activated. Click on Activate Your Account button or click on the link below. And now the account is verified. Now let's try signing into the platform again. We are now in the Apigician platform. This is just a warning not to enter confidential or sensitive information as the app is in the alpha stage now. This is your all-in-one dashboard to manage APIs with ease. On the left, you'll find the navigation menu. In the center, you can see all the APIs listed. To create a new API, simply click on the plus button in the left panel or use the Create New API button on the top right. This opens the new API setup window, and this is where you can seamlessly integrate your APIs into our platform. Let's enter the name of our API, followed by a brief description and the version number. These details help you understand the purpose and functionality of your API. Next, upload your local schema file in JSON format. This file should follow the Swagger specifications so Apigician can automatically build your API structure. You can also enable authentication for your API. Just check the Is Auth Required option and your API will be secured with token-based authentication. This ensures only authorized users can access and test it. Once you're ready, click Import. The platform will generate the complete API structure for you. Your API will be created instantly and appear in the dashboard. Once the API structure is generated, you'll have the opportunity to map a few fields to customize the API according to your needs. After mapping the fields, you're just one step away from deploying your API. We can click on these three dots here and deploy, or navigate to the dashboard and deploy it. Now the API sandbox is ready. Apigician also comes with an API Copilot powered by AI. Here, you can generate a complete OpenAPI specification schema with just a simple prompt. Simply enter your project name, and in the description, type what you want your API to look like. You can also define the request methods you want, such as GET, POST, PUT, PATCH, or DELETE. And specify the URL path like /users or /employees, along with a short description of what each endpoint should do. Let's start by adding our first endpoint, a GET request to /users. Next, we'll add a POST request to /user. Now, let's add another GET request, this time with a path parameter, /user. Next, we'll add a DELETE request to /user. Finally, we'll add a PUT request to /user. As you can see, within a few clicks, we've defined multiple endpoints: GET, POST, GET by ID, PUT by ID, and DELETE. Once you hit send, API Copilot instantly generates a valid Swagger 3.0 JSON schema, tailored to your requirements. You can then choose to download the schema file or directly import it into Apigician APIs with just one click. This makes setting up new APIs faster than ever before. Now that we've imported our Swagger JSON schema file and generated the API structure, let's proceed by mapping fields and testing our APIs using the Apigician platform. Here we are on the API mapping interface. This is where we can customize the API endpoints according to our requirements. We have Employees API that is GET all employees, so no mapping is required for this API. We don't have anything available in headers and body. In the Response tab, it will display the default success status code. We can add response codes if required. Click on Add. It'll show us the list of status codes available. Select any one of them and add a description and save. We have successfully added a new response code. Next, we have Get Employee by ID. The field value will show us how the ID should be passed as a query param or path variable. Then we have the data type of the field. In the options, it will show the list of all available fields for the schema. Since this API is for fetching employee details by ID, we'll select ID from the available fields. This ensures that our API endpoint is configured correctly to retrieve employee data based on the provided ID. Simply click on Save to apply the changes. Next, we have the Post Employee API. We have nothing in params or headers. In the request body, it displays the list of fields available for the employee and add the data type, min and max length, its default value, and select if it's a required field to save. Click on Save to apply changes. In the Response tab, it will display the default success status code. We can add response codes if required. Next, we have a Mapping tab, which displays the list of endpoint mappings available in the schema along with the request method. What this mapping does is, if we only select /employees from the get endpoint, the data saved through this post API can be retrieved using the /employees endpoint alone. If we select /employee, we can retrieve this specific data. Similarly, if we select put, patch, and delete endpoints, we can perform those operations on the data saved using this post endpoint. We have successfully mapped the endpoints. Next, we have put API. We have to map the fields similar to get /employee based on fields. And same for delete endpoint as well. Now that we have successfully mapped the fields, let's deploy the application. APIs are deployed successfully. This is API Lab, a built-in tool that lets us test our APIs without needing external tools like Postman or curl. With API Lab, we can select the API schema we deployed, choose the request methods such as get, post, put, or delete, enter the request URL, query parameters, headers, or body, and finally, send the request to view the response directly on this screen. It is designed for quick testing of all your deployed endpoints. Now let's test the endpoints of employee. Let's try fetching all employees using the get /employees endpoint. Now the request is successful, but we don't have any data yet. To add data, there are 3 ways. The first way is using the post /employee endpoint. Here, I can enter the employee details in the request body and send the request to save the data. Then, using the get endpoint again, we can see the data has been stored. We can also fetch an employee by ID by passing the ID in the query parameters. Similarly, we can update the data based on ID. We have to pass the ID, update the request and send, and for delete, pass the ID that needs to be deleted. The second way to add data is directly from the dashboard. In the response section of the get endpoint, we can use append test data. Here, we get 2 options, either download a CSV template, fill it with data, and upload it. The second way to add data is by directly uploading a CSV file from the dashboard. Here, you can prepare your own dataset in Excel or Google Sheets, export it as a CSV, and upload it to this endpoint. This method is especially useful when you already have a large set of records that you want to insert in bulk. Once the file is uploaded, the platform automatically processes all the records and stores them in your API's database. Then, just like before, we can go back to API Lab and use the get endpoint to verify that the new records are available. Third way is simply let API Copilot generate 10 sample records for us automatically. It will take few seconds to generate test data. Once that's done, we can return to API Lab and test the endpoint to see the uploaded data. Let's quickly go back to API Lab and check if we have the data uploaded. Select Get Employees and Send Request. Yes, we have the sample data uploaded by API Copilot. Apigician also makes it easy to manage authentication for your APIs with the Token Manager. Here, you can see all your API keys at a glance, including the total number of keys and how many are currently active. For each API, the Token Manager displays the assigned token, its expiration date, and whether it is authenticated. This gives you complete visibility into your API security. You can also take quick actions, like generating or regenerating a new token with just 1 click. Here I have generated a token. We can use this token to authenticate the endpoints. I'm now regenerating the token. We can also delete a token if it's no longer needed. This ensures your APIs remain secure and always under your control. With the Token Manager, Apigician takes care of the entire lifecycle of your API keys, making authentication simple, transparent, and secure. This is the Team Members section, where you can manage access and collaboration for your project. Here, you'll see an overview of active members, their roles, and pending invites. To invite a new team member, simply click on the Invite Member button. You'll then be asked to provide details such as first name, last name, username, and email address, and assign a role, viewer, developer, or admin. Once the invitation is sent, the user will receive an email invitation. Once we click on Accept Invitation, account will be activated and you will be asked to set your password. Once the password is set, we can log in. This way, you can easily collaborate with your team while maintaining the right level of access and security. That's how quick and effortless it is to set up, manage, and test APIs without writing a single line of code with Apigician. Start building smarter and faster APIs today.